Chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Conclusion: the perfection of renunciation. In this final chapter of the Gita, Krishna explains the meaning of renunciation and the effects of the modes of nature on human consciousness and activity. He explains Brahman realization, the glories of the Bhagavad Gita, and the ultimate conclusion of the Gita. The highest path of religion is absolute, unconditional loving surrender unto Lord Krishna, which frees one from all sins, brings one to complete enlightenment, and enables one to return to Krishna's eternal spiritual abode.
Sannyasasya mahabaho tattvam ichchami veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha prithakeshi nisudana.
Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyag, and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa, O killer of the Keshi demon, master of the senses.
Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavaya viduha sarvakaram phalatyagam prahuha tyagam vichakshana.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyas. And giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation, tyag.
Tyajyam dosvat iti ekekam prahuha minishna yajnadan tapaha karma natyajyam iti cha pare.
Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned.
Nischam shrinu me tatra tyage bharat sattam त्यागहि पुरुष व्याघ्र त्रिविधा संप्रकीर्तिता.
O best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds.
यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यं एव तत्. यज्ञः दानं तपः च एव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्.
Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls.
एतानि पीतु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतम् उत्तमम्.
All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Pritha. That is my final opinion.
नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणाः न उपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागः तामसाः परिकीर्तिताः.
Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
दुःखम् इत्येव यत्कर्म कायकलेश भयात् त्यजेत् सह कृत्वा राजसं त्यागम् न एव त्यागफलम् लभेत्.
Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation.
कार्यम् इति एव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलं चये सः त्यागः सात्विकाः मताः.
O Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done, and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness.
न द्वेष्टि अकुशलं कर्म कुशलेन अनुसज्जते त्यागी सत्व समाविष्टाः मेधावी छिन्न संशयाः.
The intelligent renouncer, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work.
नहि देहभृता शक्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माणि अशेषतः. यः तु कर्म फलत्यागी सः त्यागी इति अभिधीयते.
It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities. But he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced.
अनिष्टम् इष्टम् मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणाः फलं भवति अत्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्न्यासिनां कच्चित्.
For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy.
पञ्चेतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे. सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्.
O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of these from me.
अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथग्विधम् विविधाः च पृथक् चेष्टाः दैवं च एव अत्र पञ्चमम्.
The place of action, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the Supersoul. These are the 5 factors of action.
शरीरवाङ् नोभिः कर्म प्रारभते नराः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्च एते तस्याः हेतवः.
Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors.
तत्र एवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यति अकृत् बुद्धित्वात् न सः पश्यति दुर्मतिः.
Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are.
यस्येन अहङ्कृतः भावः बुद्धिः यस्येन लिप्यते हत्वापि सः इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, does not kill, nor is he bound by his actions.
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्ता इति त्रिविधाः कर्म संग्रहाः.
Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action.
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधा एव गुणभेदताः प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने यथावत् शृणु
According to the three different modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge: action and performer of action. Now hear of them from me.
सर्वभूतेषु येन एकं भावम् अव्ययम् ईक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तत् ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
That knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness.
पृथक्त्वेन तु यत् ज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथिग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि rajasam.
That knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a different type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion.
Yattu kritsanvat ekasmin karye sattam अहेतुकम् अतद्वार्थवत् अलपं च तत् तामसम् उदाहितम्.
And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness.
Niyatam sangrahitam aragdveshitah akritam apalaprepsuna karma yattat satvikam
That action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive results, is said to be in the mode of goodness.
Yattu kametsuna karma sahankarena va क्रियते बहुलायासं तत् राजसम् उदाहृतम्.
But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion.
अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनुवेक्ष्य चापौरुषम् मोहात् आरभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसम् उच्यते.
That action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others, is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
Mukta sangaha anahamvadi dhrityutsahasa samandita siddhya siddhyoha nirvikara karta satvikaha uchyate.
One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness.
Ragi karma phal prepsuha lubdha हिंसात्मका अशुचिः हर्षशोकान्विताः अकर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तिताः.
The worker who is attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion.
Ayuktaha prakritaha stabdhaha shatha neshkritikaha alasaha Shadi Dirghasutri cha Karta Tamasa Uchyate.
The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance.
Buddheha bhedam viteha chaev gunitaha trividham srinu rocyemanam अशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जया.
O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature.
प्रवृत्तिञ्च निवृत्तिञ्च कार्यकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धि सा पार्थ सात्विकी.
O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating is in the mode of goodness.
Yugadharmam adharmam cha karyam cha akaryam eva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sa parth rajasi.
O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, is in the mode of passion.
Adharmam dharmam itiya manyate tamasa avrita sarvarthan vipritan cha buddhi sa parth tamasi.
That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion, and religion to be irreligion, under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in the wrong direction, O Partha, is in the mode of ignorance.
Dhrityaya dharyate manha pranendriya kriya yogena avyabhicharinya dhritiha sa parth satviki.
O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of the mind, life and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness.
Yayatu dharm kamartha dhritya dharyate arjuna prasange phalakankshi dhriti sa parth rajasi.
But that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjuna.
Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madam evacha na vimunchati durmedha dhitiha sa parth tamasi.
And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion, such unintelligent determination, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of darkness.
Sukham tu idanim trividham shrinu me bharatarasha abhyasat ramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati.
O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys, and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress.
Yattat agre visham परिणामे अमृतोपमम् तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धि प्रसादजम्.
That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness.
विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगात् यत्तत् अग्रे अमृतोपमम् परिणामे विषमेव तत् सुखं राजसं स्मृतम्.
That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects, and which appears like nectar at first, but poison at the end, is said to be of the nature of passion.
Yat agre cha anubandhe cha sukham mohanam आत्मनाः निद्रालसे प्रमादोत्थं तत्तामसम् उदाहितम्.
And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance.
Na tat asti prithvyam va divvi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakriti jaiha muktam yat ebhihi त्रिभिः गुणैः.
There is no being existing, either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, which is freed from these three modes born of material nature.
Brahmana kshatriya visham shudraणam cha parantap karmani pravibhaktani svabhav prabhuveha gunaiha.
Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures in accordance with the material modes, O chastiser of the enemy.
Shamaha damaha tapaha shaucham kshantihi arjavam evacha dhyanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svabhavajam.
Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work.
Shauryam tejah dhitiha dakshyam yuddhe chapi apalayanam dhanam ishvara bhavaha cha kshatram kar
heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas.
कृषि गौरक्ष्य वाणिज्यं वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजम् परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्येऽपि स्वभावजम्.
Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas, and for the Sudras there is labor and service to others.
स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरताः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु.
By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done.
यतः प्रवृत्तिः भूतानां येन सर्वम् इदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तम् अभ्यचर्या सिद्धिं विन्दति
By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings, and who is all-pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मः विगुणाः परधर्माः स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन् नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions.
सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषम् अपि न त्यजेत्. सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेन अग्निः इव आवृता.
Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault.
असक्त बुद्धिः सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहा नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमां संन्यासे अधिगच्छति.
One who is self-controlled and unattached, and who disregards all material enjoyments, can obtain, by practice of renunciation, the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction.
Siddhim praptyaha yatha brahma tatha proti nibodha me samasenev kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para.
O son of Kunti, learn from me now how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfectional stage, Brahman, the stage of highest knowledge, by acting in the way I shall now summarize.
Buddhya vishuddhya yuktaha dhritya atmanam niyamya cha shabdadin vishyam tyaktva ragadvesho vyudasya cha. Vivik sevi lagvashi yatva kaya manasa dhyana yoga parha nityam vairagyam samupashrita ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamha shanta brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance, and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization.
Brahma bhutah prasannatma na shochati na kakshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param.
One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me.
Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yah chasmi tatvatah tatha mam tatvatah gyatva vishate tadanantaram.
One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God.
सर्वकर्माणि अपि सदा कुर्वाणः मध्य आश्रयः मत्प्रसादात् अवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदम् अव्ययम्.
Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee, under my protection, reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace.
चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः बुद्धियोगम् उपाश्रित्य मच्चितः सततं भव.
In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me.
मच्चितः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि. अथ चेतत्वम् अहङ्कारात् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि.
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost.
Yat ahankaram ashritya nayotasyeti manyase mithya eshah vyavyasyayate prakritihi tvam niyokshyati.
If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्मिन् कर्मणा कर्तुं नैच्छसि यत् मोहात् करिष्यसि अवशः पीतत्.
Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction. But compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti.
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति. भ्राम्यन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy.
तं एव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत् प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्.
O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode.
Iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrashyetat asheshena yatha ichchasi tatha kuru.
Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do.
Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyat shenu me paramam vachaha ishtahasi me dridham iti tatha vakshyami te hitam.
Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit.
Manmana bhava madbhakta madhyaji mam namaskuru mam ev eshyasi satyam te pratijane priyasi me.
Always think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend.
Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyah mokshishyami ma shuchah.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Idam tena atapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na cha ashtushtave vakyam na cha mam yahabhyasuyati.
This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
Yahaimam paramam guhyam madbhakteshu abhidhasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mame vyeshyati asanshaya.
For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
Na cha tasmat manushyeshu kaschit me priyakritam bhavita na cha me tasmat anyaha priyatara bhuvi.
There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
Adhyeshyate cha yaha imam dharmam yam samvadam agyo jnana yagyen tenaham ishtaha syamiti me mati.
And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence.
Shraddhavan anasuya cha srinuyatapi yaha naraha sapi muktaha shubhan lokan prapyuyat punya karmana.
And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell.
Kachite tat shrutam parth tvaya ekagren chetasa kachit ajnana sammoha pranishtaha te dhananjaya.
O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Nashtaha moha smritir labdha tvat prasadat maya achyut sthitaha asmi gat sandeha karishye vachanam tava.
Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions.
Ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmana samvadam imam ashrasham adbhutam rom harshanam.
Sanjaya said, Thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end.
Vyas prasadat shrutvan etat guhyam aham param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat sakshat katyataha swayam.
By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna.
Rajan sansamritye samvadam imam adbhutam keshvarjunyoha punyam kishyami cha muhurmuhu.
O King, As I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment.
Tacca sansamritye rupam iti adbhutam hari vismyehame mahan rajan hrishyami cha punah punah.
O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again.
Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishna, Yatra Parthaha Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shrir Vijayaha Bhuti Dhruvaha Nitihi Mati Mama.
Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Thus ends the Bhagavad Gita as it is.